I went to this new shopping center in Surprise, Arizona because I know they had put a restaurant in there famous for its murals. But this was the problem. This was imagery, and then this is the cell placement. I don't even know where I was. I'd like to fit in more than one mural, but I really can't because it's not in imagery, and I don't know where the restaurant is in relation to those cells. Here is me walking around the corner. I'm about at the murals now. There were actually 3 on this side, which was directly adjacent to the roadway, so I thought I would start here. The important thing to remember when there's no imagery is to just proceed as normal and worry about it later. So here I am going into the nomination. I'm doing everything the way that I would normally do it. I'm letting the pointer say where I am since I can't see it in imagery. I'm taking the photograph. I decided on this mural, which was the closest one to the patio. But I did make a mistake on this when I was taking the overview shot. And the reason is there were people sitting on the patio. I should have shown the street so that the reviewer would know, yes, there is a street there, it is on the corner. But I was so afraid that the person on the patio would see me taking their picture that I kind of stepped more towards the street and focused on the building. I kept the description fairly generic because it is just going to be in the description in the Pokestop or the portal. I picked my typical categories, although I did say Mexican restaurant for this one. And for supporting information, I said my typical stuff, but figured I would go back later because I need to adjust it because it's not in imagery. And then I hit to accept it. But don't think you're done now that you hit OK. Now you have to go to the Google listing and see if whatever you nominated is within the pictures. In this case, it was. And then I went back to my Niantic Wayfarer listing to edit it, but it said it was in Niantic voting. I'm starting to think this is an alternative to the AI voting for your nomination and rejecting it. I think Niantic is looking at it and then it gets pushed into regular voting. But I will update this video if that happens. The next one was a mod pizza. If you don't have one, there is always art in it, but this one was astounding. It took up the entire wall. I decided this turtle would be pretty good. I was taking pictures in advance so I could get pictures without people in them, and decided to eat this while I did it. But then I went in to actually upload my pictures. I got my white screen, which seems to happen every time I have imagery open on my phone. So I went out, and when I went out, I saw next to me a different mural. And I said, that is the one I'm gonna nominate. I started off by putting the point in the imagery. You can see at least the building is there. I went to take the picture. There it was. It was an iguana that said mod on. It was a lot easier. I didn't have to worry about people being in the picture, but I did realize it would be harder to prove that it was there, so I was hoping there'd be something in the Google listing. Then the overview shot, I just wanted to show that it was in the restaurant itself. And then I just gave it the very generic title of mod on, which is what the iguana is saying. And then also a very generic description because I think good nominations sell themselves. All right, so here are the categories I chose. And then next, I was on to the supporting information for whoever is nominating it. I put in that it was a restaurant with a lot of murals, knowing that I would go back to it later. All right, so here is the imagery. It actually says Mod Pizza on it, which is great. Look what I found in the Google listing. Yay! All right, so I went into the upper right-hand corner there. It says Edit. Here is my original description that I did while I was nominating it. This is what I added, basically saying go in Google Maps and see the picture. There was something that was confusing me. This Pokestop was right next to the Barrio Queen when I got there. It was a pretzel place. There was no pretzel place there. Turns out the pretzels was right next to the Mod Pizza. If somebody had put the pretzel place in the right place, I wouldn't have been able to do the Mod Pizza. This is how wrong they were. The Barrio Queen was down where it says Firebirds, and the Mod Pizza is up under Things to Do. This next one I struggled with, I'm going to be honest. I'm down all the way at the bottom there at that Fat Cats. It was a bowling alley. I was going back and forth between Google Maps and pogomap.info because I was trying to figure out if it was in a different cell. But with no imagery, I couldn't do it. And this is why. There was already a gym there. So I just decided I'm going to go ahead and nominate it. If it doesn't get into Pokemon Go, it will get into Ingress. I took the pictures in advance outside of the game, and then I picked use existing photograph. Here is the overview shot that I took, also existing photograph. And then the title, I called it Mini Spaceship. And then I said that it was within the Fat Cat's bowling establishment. In the supporting information, I just said it was art worth exploring. And then I went to the Google listing. Look what picture I found. So now I want to go back to my nomination in Niantic Wayfarer and edit it. This is my original one that I created while I was there. And then I just added for them to go into Google Maps, look at the Fat Cat's listing, and see the picture from 2023. I want to thank you for watching and supporting this channel. I do have more videos coming your way.